Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're going to be going into game number 4 between Flash and Best. God, I really love when a couple pros play against each other a bunch of times in a row on the ladder. It just adds this level of like mind games and like what do you do now? Like you've shown this many times and whatnot. I love it. I love to see it. Who remembers that Zealot vs. Rain series that I had on this channel? I want to say, was that 17 games that they played in a row on the ladder? Just so crazy. And it was, what a series that was, too. You could not have written it better than it went. Very, very cool stuff. So, yeah, this continues forward, and Flash is actually leading 2-1. You know, a couple quick games, and then a good opener by Flash on Retro, right? Like, he did a very good job with that aggression and everything. Did get kind of close, though. I think he had opportunities to get further ahead than where he ended up. They're talking just a little bit here about, like, I think Best seems to think that Flash is playing really well. I didn't really read the whole thing, and Flash is being a little bit humble for sure. That's what it looks like to me. Now, so is he going to go gasless or gas expand here? We're on Radeon now. He's been going gasless a lot, but you never want to be 100% on one or the other. If your opponent knows, like, there's just counter builds that are so strong. And there you go. He does go for, this will probably be a factory expansion, and it is going to be cross-map, and he's not playing against, like, a Nexus first or anything. But, yeah, that's always, I think, one of the interesting things is the metagame shifts. You have to decide, like, the percentages you want to use certain builds. And I know I've talked about this a lot lately just because I've seen the pros ignoring this partially, but like if there's free win builds, you do need to mix them in sometimes. And you know, of course, something like this matchup, gasless versus factory expansion, is really important, right? Because the more aggressive they get, like with Zealots, for instance, like let's say you go gasless and they just made 2 gates in the center, the game's over, right? But if they go 2 gates in the center and you went factory expand, they're pretty screwed unless you mess up your micro. Like that's that's going to be really rough. Also, if you went gasless every game, like Protoss could do things like Nexus first 1 gate all the time because you don't have any real counterplay. The factory expansion kind of forces them to go 2 gates with a Nexus first if they go for that. And, you know, I do see sometimes people are like, why don't, you know, we see any of these old aggressive builds like 2 factory play? It's very rare. 2 factory just really doesn't work anymore. Good Protosses will just kind of out-micro you and you'll be in a lot of trouble. Now, this is a super fast Nexus, and he's going to know that as he goes up and nothing is researching, and he saw a second probe go down the ramp. Like, he knows 100% this is a Nexus. So it's going to be like a very late Dragoon. We'll see if he even gets range quickly or if maybe he wants to go into a Robo right away. And look at this. Flash has 1 Marine and is making an add-on. But again, don't forget what I said previously when we saw a build like this. The bunker will hold everything because range is so late. So you can kind of do anything you want. Like, he might go speed here. Speed would not necessarily be a bad choice. Mines is fine as well. And that's going to be Mines. If you start the Vulture first, I think. Yeah. Oh, no, it is speed. All right. Yeah. All right. I'm feeling good. But yeah, like a speed opener isn't going to be good in general. If you can't see what they're doing, you don't know the timing of the Nexus or anything, but you know he's going to be playing unit light. So if you open, like you should mix in a speed opener sometimes. Of course, against certain things, it's not good. Like if they just happen to go DT, you're like, oh, I don't even have mines. This is terrible. But if you just slip 2 speed vultures into the Protoss base, you can win the game. Just straight up off the 2 vultures. It kind of matters the SimCity of everything, how close the Dragoons are, things like that. But you can get a lot of kills. And it's not very expected because it's a very once in a while build. He adds a second factory behind, which I think always goes well with a speed opener. Because if they do launch a strong counterattack and you're on 1 factory and you have like no tanks, you're going to be dead. But if you have 2 factories, it's like, oh, I'm making Vulture tank at the same time. That's going to be much easier to hold it. All right, speed finishes. He did find those. So you see immediately Best pulls the fire alarm and gets into position. So that forward Dragoon really saved him because Flash was going to get in. Now, he has made a 4th vulture. I actually really like that as well. And I think, yeah, he started mines. Oh my god. Guys. This is a factory expand version, I'm getting chills, of the build we saw against Snow. That's what we're looking at. Holy crap. Now, hold on. I don't think he's going to make a Wraith. I think he's going to go dropship quickly here. We shall see. Armory on the way. No add-on yet. Okay, there is the add-on. Okay, so yeah. So he's gone like 2 factory vulture. He's on like only vulture. Okay, this build we're seeing, I would love to tell you that Flash made this up. I saw Sharp do this very recently, and I rewatched the game because I was like, oh, this is super interesting. Sharp went 7 vultures with speed and dropship. And this, I literally was trying stuff like this on stream, but without the starport a while ago, where you just go heavy vulture and you can pick off 1-2 goons. If you have like 6-7 vultures, you actually beat 2 goons pretty quickly with those. Excuse me. So right now, Flash is laying a nice round of mines all over the place. Dude, this is such modern play. This is awesome. This is awesome to see. He's going to have the dropship come out, but the observer's here already. The thing is, you can do a few different things with the dropship coming up, right? Like, you can unload and then lay mines at the front, that type of idea. You could unload here and flank the little holding position with mines on both sides, right? There's, like, a lot of options because you have so many vultures here. This is so cool. Now, a shuttle rather comes out, so it's probably going to go into Reaver from here. I don't actually see the Reaver tech. I think he'll... Yeah, there it is. And he can make Wraith now against that as well, so that's kind of nice. Excuse me. Brings a shuttle over immediately to drop 2 Dragoons off in here, assuming that this is probably the best drop location since it's a full wall. And I think he was right. Flash absolutely looked like he wanted to come in here. Oh, he's going to get snapped. Well... that really puts a damper on the build. Wow, this is so cool. I love the fact that Flash went from all old play into all modern play. And it's like he's testing both or something, right? He's like, all right, now let's see how these feel. These builds. And this one is so modern, guys. Like, I've only seen this build that he's done here one time, and it was Sharp. And that's a very Sharp-esque type of thing, like heavy speed vultures. He's like kind of the vulture king of the pro gamers. And as I've said many times, like, look, I like Flash, I respect Flash and everything. The player I watch the most is actually Sharp, because he just kind of lines up with the way I like to play the game. Like heavy vulture, harassment, that type of thing. But yeah, very cool to see him on top of what's going on. Now, Flash setting up. He actually doesn't even have siege mode. We're about 9 minutes. Okay, siege mode finishes at 8:45. That is incredibly late. If you're a newbie, excuse me, start siege mode by 6 minutes. Always. Always. And if you're scared at all, start it by 5. So, anyways, Flash getting ready for another base. He's got 5 factory. He's got the starport up, laying mines all over in his main base, which a lot of you guys have pointed out really shows he's coming into the modernity that we see in StarCraft right now. Great mines for anti-Reaver. We don't see the command center yet. He doesn't have to make it right that second, right? Like, I mean, obviously you want it as quickly as possible, especially considering Best just started a 4th. But he needs to make sure he's safe too. And in fact, the way he's making this look, it really looks like a 3rd base. And I guess he'll start it, right? Yeah, there it is. It is kind of late. I was wondering, is there any chance he'll try and attack? Right now, Best is up 20 workers, by the way, which is huge. Now, coming back, excuse me, there is about to be a Reaver at this choke. Can easily pop the Zealots that were trying to hold it. Sorry, guys. I apologize for the coughing. So anyways, you know, he rotates the vultures out. They don't really do anything. He loses like 4 of them. What's he do? Kill 2 zealots, whatever. It's not a big deal. He's just kind of rotating them around, trying to stay active, trying to know what's going on. And look at this. What is this Wraithy boy doing here? It looks like he's going to cover for a siege tank push. The vultures ran best all around the map. And now he's getting in a position to kill the 4th. What am I looking at? While he's taking his 3rd base, the vultures pull his opponent so far out of position that he instantly runs down and kills a base. This is beautifully done by Flash. Now, the counterattack coming up is scary. If he had a missile turret here, he'd feel a lot better. But the mines are going to slow him down a little bit, which may allow him to come back with a lot of these units. Okay, Best coming back and actually decides to engage. I'm not sure why he's dropping those so quickly. Okay, he's going to blow up 3 tanks at once. Almost. Very, very clean and quick there, clearing him. Plenty of gates are out. We have Templar Archives out as well. 3 gases. So we should be seeing, yeah, double robo. Heavy shuttles and heavy high Templars. Yeah, 5 high Templars get started. 2 shuttles get started. That makes perfect sense. He's kind of low on minerals because he lost this base. But with the 3 geysers, he can support a huge amount of high Templar production. So now Flash finally can get some SCVs over to that 3rd base. So this is a pretty late 3rd base, generally for Flash. But as long as you have your 3rd base mining about 12 minutes, that's considered okay in Terran versus Protoss right now. So right now, Best bringing his Dragoons out. Looks like he maybe wants to clear some mines and whatnot. Has this observer in the front. The setup is really strong here for Flash. Like, you can't really break into here. Making some depots as well. The mine is kind of in the way there, but generally you want a full depot wall there so that the zealots just can't run in. New Nexus for Best. This is always an interesting one. It's a big commitment to attack this base. If you look at the flow of the map, right? Even if Flash goes here to take this base, which is pretty common, to send units all the way up through here and then down through there, it's like, man, you have to defend here, 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 and he can come in through this way. So it's like you get stretched way too thin. This is actually low-key a really good 5th base. All right, big attack into the main base with mass drops. He has 2 Reavers and 4 High Templars in here, so we might see a lot of SCV death coming up. All right, some storms go down. He's getting some... Ooh! Juicy, juicy storms there on the ramp. Oh, my God. Flash losing a ton right now. The Reavers being popped up and away. He does have this Wraith to help clean up the shuttles, but it's going to take a while. There's so many of them. Has 2 High Templars in here still, by the way, so we might actually still get some very high-quality storms. No storm, no storm. They're both too low. But still, this actually seemed like it was pretty good. He brings them down to 46 workers. You really, honestly want to be 60, 65 or so right now as Flash. And then you can really cleanly get into a 4th base. But as is, he's really low on those workers. He's only got the 5 factories still. Excuse me. Looking good for Best, who now is getting that 5th base going. And as I always say, right, if they take a 5th base in Protoss vs. Terran, you got to attack or take a 4th. And now he's kind of made the 4th idea kind of bad, but there's only 5 factories, so the attack idea is kind of bad. There's not a great choice here for Flash. A lot more shuttles coming out, just pumping out the gateway units. I tell you, Best is really a great player. I really like the way he plays Protoss. I know that I'm sometimes hard on Protoss players. An unloving father must be hard on those who skate by in life. But, like, the way that he plays it, sometimes he plays kind of silly. Like, we've seen it in ASL. I feel like he plays worse in ASL than he does in other matches. But, excuse me. If you look at this, like, the way that he dived in and he had all the splash damage, he reduces SCV counts, he slows him down, and then he's like, yep, we take 1 more Nexus, we're up to 6. like, he's making Flash have to make such hard decisions here. Because, like, Flash is probably going to max, okay? And he's going to have 2-2, he's going to have EMP. So there's, like, good things going on there. But by the time he does that, Bestu will be at, like, 3.5k bank. And he'll have a ton more gateways. And he'll just be ready to rail out another maxed army. So this is very, very tough right now for Flash. And in fact, some of his units kind of stuck on the ramp. Starts at 4th CC. In a game where you would go like a fast turtled 4 base, you would generally have it mining around 16 minutes. So this is like a little bit late, but it's been a bumpy game in some ways. Don't forget he did kill this Nexus down there. So like Best is not quite where he would like to be. Like, he is a little bit behind. You see a lot of gates going up. Throws out another Nexus. Why not? Throws out another Nexus. Well, this is where Flash's options are going to start really drying up. If your opponent has 3 mains, you should never win. Like, in no circumstance. It's like impossible. Because if you're clearing one, they have so much other things that they can do. So many other things. Stargate on the way? Yeah. Not surprised. This is a game where you go mass carrier. Now, Goliath range is on the way, and then also a bunch of Goliaths. So, excuse me. It does look like right now, Flash is like kind of aware what's going on. He's definitely getting ready to push out. Tons of cannons coming up, by the way. Just adding a lot of cannons so that vultures aren't going to be as powerful. 3-3 coming up for Flash as well. Oh, nice EMP. Really excellent EMP right there, actually. Oh, there's... Okay, so we have 2 Psystormers left in the army that could Psystorm. Now, here we go. Best... Oh, he decides to pull back as Flash pulls back. This is crazy. There's so many mines in here. If he goes in with all 5 shuttles and starts unloading, like, there's going to be some explosions. Here we go. I think this is going to be gross. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Just crazy. Going over your own spider mines is never a good idea. And look at this. He kills the front part of it, pulls back. He only lost 1 Dragoon there. The Dragoons are the main units you're trying to keep alive. And that might seem counterintuitive because, like, you want to keep the High Templars alive as well, but you have infinite gas in this matchup, so you're not actually as worried about replacing them. Obviously, it's nice to because they gain value. But really, it's the Dragoons that you want to make sure you still have up. Now, Flash pushing out pretty strong. He has his 4th command center in position to take that base. Supplies are similar, but look at this, right? Over 3k bank here for Best, who's just going to start massing up. Only 1 Stargate so far. He hasn't had time, I guess, to add on any more production. Look at that, 10 High Templars being made. No. Don't waste those goons. Just pull that back. I understand he's trying to slow Flash, but, like, losing 8 Dragoons to kill a tank and a Goliath is not it. Excuse me. The Dragoons are what slow down vulture rotations. Like, that's where a lot of Terran victories are, when you just throw away your Dragoons, because you actually lose map control at that moment. The Dragoons just kind of stand there and force siege tanks to move, and that slows Terran down a lot. So, a little bit wasteful losing some of those. 4 shuttles coming up, 3 with Zealots and 1 with High Templars. We have so many gates everywhere. This is a Best victory. There is no way Flash would not have won. All right, coming out, dropping on top of the tanks. Very little anti-air in there. I just heard a ton of scans, by the way. When you hear that many scans, very oftentimes the the Terran's getting ready to leave the game. It's just like you kind of double check where everything is and make sure you understand where your position is. Right, retreating with those shuttles. Just the macro Best out of control at this point. All right, some Psystormers coming in and doing their job. Actually clears a lot here. As you can see, that lower Dragoon count really easy for the vultures to get in and deal with. Flash continue to push up here. There's nothing even mining here and plenty of cannons, so this is going to be way slowed, and he has bottom right and is taking more. In fact, he might even take this Nexus over here, which is kind of crazy. 6 more shuttles approaching the Terran army. Really, you can drop anything out there. You can drop Archons and stuff. Not even a bad idea. Archons suck up a lot of the tank splash. Not that they're good against Terran, they're not, but they have their use. Now, some great Psystorms go down. Best continues to push. And, I mean, if this base goes down, there's nothing. Nothing for Flash. He only has that one mining base at that point. Yeah, the Archon's actually going to do a fantastic job against these retreating SCVs as well. Flash is going to be able to kill some Nexuses. But yeah, that's going to be it. GG. Excellent victory from Best. And doesn't that tie us up 2-2? Ooh, you better tune in to game number 5 tomorrow. Thanks for watching.